Well, they say a writer writes. This is a tool of a writer. But what does a writer write about? Well, I wrote about, let's see here, the Yahoo lawsuit. See? Might get $100, but Yahoo bought out Associated Content. Then they had a big security breach because all the people they screwed out of their articles. See, here's the lawsuit right here. Says so. Claim form for basic account holders. Yahoo customer data security breach litigation settlement. So basically, what happened is, here's the karma of Yahoo and Associated Content, and why I and a bunch of other people filed a class action lawsuit against Yahoo. But before that happened, we filed a lawsuit against Associated Content because they had an offer on the table to be sold for $300 million as a private content producing company, and then they went ahead and took $100 million from Yahoo, and then Yahoo destroyed literally enough knowledge to build 500 new civilizations on 10 different planets. Wisdom that was wiped out because there's a group of people out there that don't want you to know things other than what they want you to know. See? So you got things like the Antifa movement, which has now been declared suppressive, or a terrorist organization by Donald Trump and Attorney General Barr. And so when you start questioning people about what this means, like on Quora, as a writer, you ask lots of questions. Like, one question in particular was, now that the Antifa movement has been declared a domestic terrorist organization, should the people involved with that be subjected to the American criminal justice system if they're out caught in the street terrorizing their neighborhoods with bombs of gas-filled, liquefied benzene or petroleum products as a protest against the continued pollution of the planet by the fascist governments of the earth? And you can take a look at the history of fascism, and my dad was a fascist, okay? He was born in Hungary when it was a fascist country, when it was fashionable to be a fascist, a dictating SOB that tells people what to do and orders them about and controls their lives in every detail. That's fascism. Now, on the other side of the coin is supposed far left liberalism. I'm leaning left, but on the camera it probably looks right. This is far right, far left. It's all an illusion, man. Really. A writer writes. So, if you're a writer and you want to communicate to people, you write. Here's a journal. This is my prayer book. It says, prayer book, Church of Infinitology. Now, in America, you're supposed to have the right to have freedom of religion. But if you walk into a small town anywhere in America and you ask people like the police chiefs, are you a Christian? They might get karma and wind up getting cancer and disappear off the face of the earth because they said they were Christian, but they really weren't. I mean, do Christian people come into your home after a 911 call and look through your medicine cabinet to see what kind of drugs you might be doing? I don't think a Christian person would do that, especially when the person that you called for is not aware enough because they've passed out from some sort of seizure. And this has actually happened 10 years ago, nothing recent. Where I live, the crime rate is 0. Yeah, 0. There's no crime where I live. Why? Because we have video cameras everywhere. We have a vigilant populace. You don't know how many people in my little town have guns. So if you try to break into their house, you don't know if you're going to come out alive, okay? Because people like their privacy. And if there's a sign on your front door that says no soliciting, and in my town soliciting is illegal, you don't go knocking on people's doors and say, hey, why are you harassing my children when you're not? You know, that's kind of a form of baiting or bull baiting or baiting and badgering. And I've noticed a lot of people involved in these political things around the country are baiting the government, baiting Trump, baiting the media, and then badgering, baiting and badgering, baiting and badgering. And this practice of baiting and badgering is actually very old if you look up online what baiting and badgering is. But you can bait and badger people until they're shredded, literally, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, energy-wise. You can just bait and badger them to death, basically. And so this is like a modern blood sport. But enough of that. A writer writes, and I'm giving up writing. No more writing. No more talking.